What's up, real world? Twisted Luck. Hope everybody's good. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. It's a rainy, Saharan, dusty Saturday here in Florida, and I just have a pondering. And this, honestly, it came about, I don't know why I didn't think about this before, but yesterday, just walking by the TV, there was a Family Guy episode on. And the Family Guy, they're on the Titanic. And, it's going down or whatever, and, the boat is going down. And they say they're saving the women and children only, or women and children first, whatever it is, right? So then Stewie and Brian and Chris dress up as women so they can get off the ship. Otherwise, they're doomed on account of their male, on account of nature, made them that way. So, but then I started thinking, would that work today if the Titanic, and if the story is as it's told with the Titanic, right? If that went down in 2023, would that still be the same way? How would that be? How would that go? And, ladies first? Is ladies first still a thing? Or is it ignorant? Or one of the ists to say ladies first? Or to hold the door open for a female or whatever, you might do? And I wonder if on that Titanic in 2023, would they just ask, okay, who? Because it wouldn't be proper, right? Women, I guess children, you could still do, unless that's an ist too. You're some kind of ist if you pick children over adults. We're like, well, that's adultist, to save children first. That's prejudice towards the adults. There would be some kind of clown in 2023 to say some kind of nonsense like that. Yeah, and it's true. But would it just be like women and children first, or okay, who identifies as a female or a woman, right? But you can't be, because you can't even say, well, what's a woman? Because someone would shout back, what's a woman to you? And then by the time they figured it all out, the whole damn boat of everybody would go down because it would be too much debate. Well, what do you mean, woman? Well, I mean, woman. Do you mean who identifies as woman? Yeah, whoever identifies as. Yeah, but what does that mean? Is this natural born women and people who identify? I don't know. It's just actual women, right? So then you might just have to take charge and just be like, okay, everybody single file line. I will say yes or no as you approach. If you're a man, you're going to the no pile. Right? And a man is going to be by my observations, my natural observations. If you come up with a beard and a bright red lipstick and a skirt, well, I'm sorry, you're not going to make it off the 2023 Titanic. But isn't it something so ridiculous? We are the laughingstock of the world for this type of thing and many other things. Dementia, one of them. One of those specific dementia patients. Dementia is not a funny thing, and it's not to be made fun of. I feel bad for people. But, when other countries look at a country and be like, whoa, that's the best they got? That's the one they chose to lead the pack? As everybody, as men win Women of the Year awards, and that's got to be terribly, terribly offensive to women. But it just made me think, women and children first. Think about that. Why do we have that? And then it became the whole thing, equality, and then not even just equality. We can be the other one if we want, right? Some females are like, we're just as good as a man. And nobody's saying nobody's as good. But then it evolved into, we can be a man. And the man is like, we can be a woman. We're all equal. So equal turned into, but, there are differences, which is why we had the women and children first and ladies first and all these things, right? Because there are differences. That doesn't mean women aren't as good, right? It just means that, I don't know, I just feel like, like I open doors for my wife, I get the door for, ladies first, women and children, right? Like my wife, she hasn't pumped gas since she met me. There's just little things. Can a female pump gas? Of course. But it's just, I don't even know how to explain it, right? A lot of people say chivalry is dead. No, chivalry is being slaughtered And then people will complain that there's no chivalry. The same people who destroyed it will complain that it's gone, right? It's kind of like your cake and eat it too. You can't destroy the cake and then expect to eat it and get mad at me because you destroyed your cake and now you can't eat it. I didn't destroy your cake, you destroyed your cake, right? But I thought that was a funny and interesting thing when that came about, or when that episode played. And that episode is not very old, right? I imagine they wouldn't even make that episode in today's times because they were making a mockery of that. They were saying males dressing as females, ha ha ha, this is funny, to try to play themselves off as not men, as women, right? So they can get female benefits. If they only knew at the time, right? Not only would that become reality, but it wouldn't just get them off a sinking boat. It would get them onto women's sports teams and first place trophies in women's sports teams. It would get them Woman of the Year. It would get them, and all of these things, like I said, have just got to be a slap in the face for actual women, right? And this is another thing with the ridiculous society we're talking about, that we as a society as a whole collectively did this. And this is part of the reason we are just the absolute laughingstock. Because look at us, right? Look at us. Look at who's dominating women's sports, right? Other people in other countries, they laugh and joke about us because, oh, who won first place in the women's whatever? Oh, this Ralph did. Ralph. But I said the women's team. Yeah, it was Ralph. Well, I don't understand. Well, Ralph said he's a woman. Yeah, but obviously Ralph's not a woman. It's America. All you got to do is say it. What? There's no standards? You don't have to. Well, surely they at least protect the other women on the team and don't allow. No. He's allowed in the same room. Yep. They make them, and they get in trouble. The women get in trouble if they complain. What is this? Like I've said many times, I don't care what people pretend to be. What people choose, how to live their life. That's none of my business, right? And I don't care. I don't care. But it's, when you start to force everybody else to pretend in your pretend land, that's, I think, where most people have the issues. You know what I mean? Most people have the problems then, when you throw it in their face. Because we all do things, right? We all have things, and you don't go out and force society to like it and play with you, right? No, you stop doing that when you're a little kid. It's a crazy concept, and I'm not sure exactly how we got to that point, but it's been all about feelings, right? Oh, well, that person doesn't like it when you don't pretend along with them. Okay, we'll pretend along with them. But why? Why do we do that? So is it still okay to hold the door? Is it okay to open the door for a female? Or is that not right? Because, well, she might be a man. You don't know. You haven't asked her. And then should you ask people? Are you a man? Someone coming to open the door, but, whatever. You're like, are you a man or a woman? And most women, I would think, would find that offensive and be like, what? And then you're the creep, right? So it's a lose-lose scenario. I was just now at the store, and I was going to the self-checkout thing just to get a couple things real quick. And there was an old lady paying when I came up. And then there was a lady with a cart full of stuff. When I came up, she was like, oh, do you want to go ahead of me since that's all you have? I said, oh, well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. So I go in, and the old lady, she's having a hell of a time with the thing. She keeps taking the card out before it says to take it out. And, she does it like 3 times. And then she's waving for help, but nobody's paying attention to her, so I help her, right? And I'm like, oh, I think I don't want to make her feel stupid, so I'm like, oh, stupid technology. Technology is never perfect. Don't worry, I have problems too. She's like, I'm so stupid. I should just, and it was sad. She was like, I should just unalive myself. And she's an old lady, like for real, old lady. And I was like, I think she said it in like a joking way. And I was like, no. It's definitely not you. It's definitely not you. But is it okay to help them? Because what if she identifies as a young person, right? And that's offensive. I don't need your help. I'm a 15-year-old male, right? You never know. This is America in 2023. But anyway, this is just a stupid pondering because I saw that little Family Guy episode or that little clip. I'd seen it before. But what do you think? Titanic 2023, same alleged scenario. If it were to go on today, how would that go down? I think most likely the whole damn thing would go down with everybody on it, nobody floating away on a doorknob at all to safety, because everybody would be arguing when they said women and children's first. It would be nothing but a huge argument over who that might be and what that means, instead of just obvious, just like they did allegedly back then, right? Very clearly, you know who the women and children are. It's very clear. But what changed? Nothing changed. Women and children and males, nobody changed. We're the same. It only changed up here, right? For some people. And then they want everybody to go along with it. So my prediction, Titanic 23, everybody goes down because nobody can figure out who's supposed to get off first. Just a dumb topic that popped in my mind. I thought I'd share it. Let me know how you think that would go. Do you agree with me? Or do you think they'd find a way off? Share your thoughts. I appreciate you. Twisted Luck Truth. I'll see you soon.